This conference will now be recorded.
So hi everyone, it's Holly McFarland. I'm not sure if you can even see me. You would think by now, this far into East Texas, or this far into COVID, that we would all know how to do these virtual webinars so well, but I still have to admit we're all novices. So welcome aboard to East Texas Giving Day. We are about to kick off this fine event. Last year, we had a very successful event. We'll go over some of those old stats from last year. I would like to remind you to try to stay muted throughout this so that we can make sure we don't have a lot of background noise. I am recording this webinar, and so afterwards I will post it on the East Texas Giving Day resources portal so that you can have access to it and can watch it just as many times as your heart's content. So let's go ahead and let's get started. I believe my screen is sharing, so here we go. All right. I wanted to share this slide because this is where we all are at this point. Virtual meetings are basically modern seances. So like, Elizabeth, are you there? Is anyone else with you? We can see you, we can't hear you. That's sort of the way it feels in this virtual meeting space that we've all found ourselves into this year. But I thought if we could all just get a laugh before we get going, that might be a little fun. So enjoy that. So a little bit about ETCF, the host of East Texas Giving Day. So we were founded in 1989, and in our 30 years, we've received about 170 million in contributions, 108 million in grants have gone out our door, and currently we manage about 116 million in assets. There's about 388 charitable funds here at the foundation. And of those, about 212 or 77 million are endowed, which means they will be here forever, which is what our real work is outside of East Texas Giving Day, is creating those charitable dollars and having them as a resource for the community for the rest of forever. So ETCF is a nonprofit corporation, just like you guys. We are a 501c3 public charity. We serve both individuals and nonprofits, so that does make us a little bit more unique. And we cover 32 counties. It's a huge swath of real estate, and so we go from like the Red River all the way down to Angelina County, and then from the border of Texas and Louisiana all the way over to Rains, Van Zandt, Henderson County. We are charitable fund administrators, and we have 5 different fund types. So a little bit about those. We have donor advised funds. Those are funds that are kind of like a charitable checking account. During East Texas Giving Day, we reach out to our donor advised funds and encourage them to support participating charities in East Texas Giving Day. But throughout the year, donor advised fund holders support charities that mean something to them, that are they're inspired by their missions or what have you. And so we process those grants on a weekly basis here at the foundation. Nonprofit funds are funds that are indicated for a single charity. We provide investment management, we do complex assets, we help nonprofits receive gifts that are complicated. So if you have anything that you are working on that you feel like you need some assistance with, we can walk you through the steps that you would need in order to complete that fund. Scholarship funds are kind of, I think everyone basically understands scholarship funds. I went through college based on scholarship funds. Scholarship funds are created here at the foundation. A good example would be, let's say your child is in one of the 32 counties that we serve, but wants to go to a college anywhere in the country. We have scholarships that do that. A lot of times scholarships are created at a specific university or junior college and would only benefit students going to that singular college. A lot of our scholarships are more broad and target a specific major or specific type of student, but that want to go to any college abroad. So that's a very popular tool that we have right now. We have about 70 scholarships that are open from now to February 1st. And if you have a student that's a senior, I encourage you to go to etcf.org and have them investigate those scholarships, because we have a lot of great opportunities. Designated funds are kind of like field of interest or a project. They've got a specific task or focus area. but they're very helpful and useful, and we have a lot of donors that use those resources. And unrestricted funds. Okay, so ETCF does not have a huge unrestricted pool. We have a small one, and that's what we use the revenue from to create the prize pool for East Texas Giving Day.
It's not too bad.
Okay, so ETCF's, our mission is philanthropy builds community and changes lives. ETCF supports philanthropy by offering simple ways for donors to achieve their charitable goals. We do that by motivating organizations and people to increase their philanthropy. We try to communicate on a regular basis messages about philanthropy in our community, and we provide this easy online platform for donors and nonprofits to come together and do good in our community. So about East Texas Giving Day, it's a regional online giving event, and it will happen this year on April 27th from 6 a.m. to midnight. It allows anyone to be a philanthropist, as $10 is the minimum gift. We'll get to that in a little bit. It builds community between nonprofits, donor boards, and volunteers, and our local media outlets. It also builds awareness of community needs across the greater 32 counties. And we do offer prizes that hopefully help motivate donors to get inspired that day and support you. Give once, give often is kind of our philosophy. So I'd like to recap a little bit about East Texas Giving Day 2020. So we started this online event back in 2016, and over the years, 2017, 18, and 19, it grew substantially between 18 and 19. 2020 was, as y'all all know, a unique year, and we were able to produce a $2.2 million day, and it was very exciting and nerve-wracking and all the things that you would think it would be, dealing with a pandemic at the same time of trying to host this event and not have in-person contact with everyone. And it was just a lot of behind the scenes moving pieces, but successfully you guys all were able to pull together and use the resources that you had available and generate such a great day. It was a 59% increase over the prior year. So people were very generous in 2020. And even from what we know as far as our grants that went out end of year, our donors continued to be very generous with their giving in 2020. And so while COVID did impact our community, I feel like it really inspired generosity across our area. So like I said, 2.2 million was raised. 195 nonprofits participated in our event. We had 32 counties, nonprofits from 32 counties that were involved. 35% of donors indicated that they were first-time donors. That seems to stay the trend. It varies from 28% to 35%, but across the nation, that is about the standard participation of newcomers every year to the event, which is really exciting. New donor acquisition is a tough game and can be very expensive. So that's part of the reason why we continue to host East Texas Giving Day, as we are trying to get new donors involved in giving in our community. $309 was the average gift size, and 80 charities had matching funds that grossed about $1 million. So those 80 charities had matching funds, and their donors and new donors gave to those organizations, netting about almost, I guess, half of the overall income for the event. So we'll talk about matching funds later, and we do have a webinar in the future planned. Matching funds are a very large component to East Texas Giving Day that I hope you have the opportunity to take a part of. The winners on East Texas Giving Day, we had some folks that went above and beyond, and East Texas Food Bank was one of them. They raised $84,000 with a $10,000 match available on East Texas Giving Day. Now, this was, like I said, East Texas Giving Day last year was right in the beginning and the onset of COVID, and East Texas Food Bank was in the news a lot. So it's not surprising that they netted $84,000 that day. Texas A&M University was another show off. They did $94,000 with a $20,000 match. They were trying to raise money for scholarships and then to help students with with assistance throughout COVID, I believe, was part of their campaign. And our top winner for the day was the Mentoring Alliance here in Tyler. They had $189,000 that they grossed that day for their campaign. And if you're not following them on Facebook, I encourage you to. They have a very savvy marketing team, and they produce really good and engaging materials. And I feel like they're continued. They generate a lot of activity throughout the year.
Yeah.
So I do encourage you to at least follow them on Facebook if you're not
live. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we had the most donations overall, and the most first-time donors went to East Texas Food Bank.
Sorry.
They had the most first-time donors that self-indicated, they had 84 of those, and the most overall donations, which means they had 274 unique donations from the site, which they were really working hard that day. And again, they were a frontline charity, and as a COVID in the year of COVID, that was they were very fresh on folks' mind. And of course, they had an increased need this year as well. So it was great that they got that response. We have donation amounts that continue to show up as the most popular donation amounts. So $10 the minimum, but only 6% of the gifts through the portal on 2020 were $10 gifts. $25 donations made up another 12%. $50 donations made up a quarter of the donations that came through the site. We have the East Texas Giving Day donation portal defaulted to $50. So a quarter of the donations that came through that day were of those $50 donations. But almost half of the donations were over $100, which is pretty remarkable. It to me is inspirational and tells us that the donors like the event and are willing to dig deep and give to their favorite charities through the site. And then 13% made up of other donations. We had all kinds of weird, like $77.77, and there's all kinds of random things that donors put in, and that's wonderful. As long as they're giving, we will take and process their gifts for you guys. Okay, so demographics matter whenever you're doing marketing, and so I wanted to give you guys a little bit of information about that. And so 74% of the donors that gave on East Texas Giving Day indicated that they were female, and 80% of donors were 45 or older. So when you're thinking about your collateral pieces moving forward, think about 45-year-old females that are donors to your organization, and what kind of outreach that you could do to be special or to entice them to support your organization. On the donor survey that we sent out post-event, 99% of all donors said that they would participate in East Texas Giving Day again if asked. So what that says is if you do nothing more than send out an email to those that supported you in 2020, then in 2021 you should have a 99% return. So those that do participate in the event love the event and would do it again. So a little bit more about the donors. 32% of donors learned about East Texas Giving Day through Facebook channels. I encourage you to use social media and don't just start during East Texas Giving Day. Start putting out content now, and meaningful content that will help whenever you get to Giving Day. People will be used to seeing your information and know a little bit more about what you're doing. 67% accessed easttexasgivingday.org on a smartphone. That increased, I think, by like 12%. Last year in 2019 was the first time that we had broken the 50% mark, that half of the people that visited the site went through their cell phone. Well, in 2020, it jumped to 67%. So think about that also when you're building collateral pieces, that think of how it's going to look when it comes on your phone. Thankfully, our Giving Day portal is mobile responsive. So whenever people look at it on a smartphone, on their iPhone or Android device, they are able to make their contribution right there from their phone. 52% of donors learned about East Texas Giving Day from those nonprofits that participated. So keep up the good work. You guys are definitely the megaphone for the event, and we applaud all the creative effort that you put into it. Donors love to give, And so more than 2,700 donors gave to 2 or more charities in a single transaction, which was like half of the people. 48% of the donors gave to more than one charity when they came to the site. So that's the unique thing. It's kind of the Amazonification of giving. It's donor convenience, which is what ETCF is all about, simplified giving. Donors can come to our portal and shop. They can put as many of you in their shopping cart as they want, and at the end make one single credit card transaction. So like on Giving Tuesday, which happens the Tuesday following Thanksgiving, a donor has to go to, a food pantry website to give, has to go to the Humane Society pantry website to give, has to go to all the different charities that they are inspired by to give individually on each of their web portals. Where on East Texas Giving Day, they come to a single website and can give to as many as they want. And so that's the appeal. A lot of people love the concept that it's a one-stop shop and they can give to multiple agencies. The most gifts or the most donations made in a single transaction was 23. So that means that, Donor Jim went onto the website and found 23 of his most favorite organizations and checked out at one time and gave to all 23 organizations. Again, for donors, it's simplified giving, and that's what ETCF is all about. And it's remarkable to me that every year that number goes up, the number of organizations that are supported in a single credit card transaction. Okay, so 2021, it's going to be full of surprises. Here we go. We got some new stuff coming at you. The date changes every year, y'all. It's the last Tuesday in April. So this year it's April 27th from 6 a.m. to midnight. Donors again will be able to search for you by name, city, zip. There are some advanced tools that they can search for you by, narrow you down by county, category, or matching funds. We've also added this year a critical needs messaging box, and I'll talk a little bit more about it in a minute. But it's the critical needs messaging box we incorporated last year, kind of last minute for a COVID-19 immediate needs. It was a big hit amongst the donors because they could filter by what's the most pressing need in my community now. So instead of it being labeled the COVID-19 box now, it's just going to be critical needs. So if you are working at a food pantry and your freezer goes out, this is the spot where you're going to put in, this is what's happening right now. It's the most immediate thing, and this is what we need assistance with. So I feel like it's going to help both educate the community and help share what is going on with you guys. But it is a filterable box, and the public will be able to narrow down their search by that filter. We're also introducing peer fundraising campaigns. So that's like if you have an individual that wants to support you, it's kind of like Facebook birthday fundraising. They can go on and create a fundraising page for your organization and then share it through their social media channels and explain why they love your organization and how they would love for their friends to support you. And they can set goals, and they can help raise money on your behalf. We're going to have a training on it. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a little bit too. But we're going to have that's new this year, and we'll try to get you guys all educated up on it so that you can share it amongst your most rabid fans. There's a new secure logon feature for 2021. Cybersecurity is always front of mind for everyone, and the tech provider wanted to increase their security this year. So many of you got the email this morning. It went out. I'll show some screenshots about it, but use that link that's in that email and you'll be able to get logged in. The link will expire in 24 hours. We'll talk about that here in just a second, but that secure logon is supposed to help us increase security levels within the site so that information is not, stolen, basically. Okay, so East Texas Giving, early giving starts on April 5th. Last year, we opened it up a week earlier than what we normally do. We usually only do a 2-week early giving. We expanded it to the whole month of April now. It helps in generating activity on the site and enthusiasm for what's going on. And I believe it will help with those peer-to-peer campaigns, because whenever they launch, people want instant gratification. They want to be able to support, Jimmy's peer fundraising campaign, and we want them to have the access to go ahead and go make their contributions. So we are opening up early giving around April 5th. Okay, so if you're a 501c3 in good standing in our service area of those 32 counties, you can participate in East Texas Giving Day. You have to pay the registration fee. The fee is used to promote the event regionally, and ETCF does not make any money off of this event. It is strictly to help raise awareness in our community and to help you nonprofits with online fundraising knowledge. If you register before March 1st at 5 p.m., you will have a $100 registration fee. But if you wait, it will bump up to $125, and the final registration date for everyone is March 31st. So we have a little bit of time here, but be thinking if you're going to participate and try to get in before March 1st so that you can get that lower registration fee. So if you do register before March 31st, you can take advantage of a couple of things. One is that $100 registration fee, but you will also have an opportunity to win one of 4 $250 prizes. Those $250 prizes will happen on March 3rd. We will pull those names and make you guys aware of it. But you can use that $250 on anything. If you want to reinvest it into marketing for your event, great. If you want to just put it in your general operating fund, that's fine too. But that we have 4 of those $250 prizes that will be a random draw on March 3rd. Now, in the past, we have done East Texas Giving Day swag. We've given away with early bird registrations these lovely little East Texas Giving Day t-shirts, but every year it's hard to figure out what sizes people need and how to get those out to the public, especially this year with us having much more virtual meetings. So we decided to create an online giving store. So we've created an online store. There's whenever I send this out, I'll make sure you all get the link to it. But you can log on and you can order your own East Texas Giving Day shirts in the baseball style in either a blue or the traditional green. And we also have East Texas Giving Day mask that you can order for your staff or your board. That way, you guys can order them directly and they are shipped directly to your organization. ETCF only created the store. We are not benefiting from it in any way, but it was just a more simple way for you guys to outfit your organization with Giving Day swag. If you are interested, you're by no means obligated to participate in buying t-shirts for your board or staff. Okay, so new nonprofits every year want to know how to get registered. So this is what you got to do. Go to easttexasgivingday.org. At the upper top up there is the registration button. Click on that and you will see a second screen that pops up and asks you a simple question. Have you or have you not participated in Giving Day? And what this also means, folks, is not specifically you, but your organization. You may be new to the organization, but your organization has participated in the past. Please find out from someone, and that way you don't have to recreate the profile. The profile already exists if your organization has participated in the past. So if you are brand new, then you would say no. This is the first time we've ever gotten involved in East Texas Giving Day. And you will be taken to a screen that looks similar to this, where you have to fill out about 12 questions or so, your EIN information, that kind of stuff. You will be notified by email when you are approved, and that email will create a link that takes you back in to create your password so you can get started creating your East Texas Giving Day landing page. Now, for those of you who are returning East Texas Giving Day participants, then this is the email you received this morning. It went out, you probably got it around 11 o'clock today. The email has this our East Texas Giving Day logo and the Create My Password button. Just click on that button and it will take you to this second screen where you will type in your new password. Your password does have to consist of an uppercase, lowercase, a letter, a number, and a special character. So that's part of the new security that our tech provider is encouraging everyone to do. Okay, so once you get through that phase, it's going to pop up with a tile that says Open East Texas Giving Day application. You're going to click the Open button, and it's going to take you to what you're used to seeing. This screen at the bottom with the little blue and green widget is the dashboard that you saw last year. Okay, so once you get into this dashboard, there's a few things I want to make you aware of this year. Announcements are on your left-hand side. You can watch a video on how to improve your public profile and what some of the things mean and ways to enhance. If you have someone that's helping you out this year fill out that, I encourage them to watch that video. But it is a good resource and it's always going to be there so you guys can watch it whenever you have time. On the right are milestones and deadlines. So the green are how you can register for future East Texas Giving Day trainings. We have quite a few. You just click on them and then this little details button clicks up and it takes you to the RSVP page where you can register for any of those future social media basics, social media advanced, any of the trainings that we have coming along. And again, if you wanted to order those shirts or masks for your team, again, the link is on the announcements page. You can click through and go straight to the East Texas Giving Day store. Like I said, East Texas Communities Foundation makes nothing off the sale of those t-shirts. They just cover the cost of printing them, and those are shipped directly to your house or your organization. Okay, so after you log in and pay your registration, all nonprofits must update their profile before submitting their updates. And what that really means is you need to update your executive director name and email, your match money, anything that just go through your profile and verify that the content is still accurate. There's that video that I mentioned that you can watch and that will help you understand what all needs to be updated. You should plan to update the info in one sitting. Sadly, when you get in to edit your profile, it does not have the ability for you to stop and save where you're at and then come back to it. Once you go in to edit your profile, you really need to edit it all in one sitting and then save. Now, I know that is very inconvenient, but I didn't design it, y'all. I will tell you that if you want to trick the system, like if you don't know your CEO's email address, then just put something at something in the box, and then you can save and then come back, re-enter into your profile and make those edits. You can just trick the system by putting some sort of data into the field that is a required field, is what I'm trying to say, so that you can come back when you do know the answer, and it will help you save time and not lose the content you've already put in. And once finished, you will need to click Submit for approval. This is how I receive your profile, and that indicates to me that you're ready to go live, and I can push it out onto the East Texas Giving Day front end for the public to view. Now, you can go back in as often as you want and update any information that's in your profile now through April 21st. The system will be locked down on April 21st. So if you go in today and you edit your profile, but you don't have a match secured, no problem. Just click no, you don't have a match. But let's say February 18th, you find out that you've got this lovely partner that's going to give you money for a match. Okay, log back in, go back to your match part of the profile, add, the $5,000 that you've secured and save it, and that will, you have until April 21st to do that as many times as you would like. Okay, so last year we introduced Chatbot, which we will do again this year, and that will start, it should start now, maybe sometime this week. I'm not 100% certain on the date when it will come on, but down in the lower right-hand corner of the nonprofit registration, once you get into your profile, it will have a little help box, And if you have questions, then you can type them into that chat box, and someone will be able to address and help you with your question. Of course, I'm always available. You guys can email me, but the chat box is an excellent way for you to get answers, especially like on the weekend and stuff. On Giving Day, that will become a live chat, and they will be able to help your donors and use the nonprofit be able to get information if you have like a donation issue or a credit card issue or something like that. That chat bot will be able to help you navigate those issues. Okay, so now that we're talking about donations, you need to know that all donations go through easttexasgivingday.org. The leaderboards will provide real-time tracking of gifts by organizations, numbers of gifts, the dollars raised, and match money. The event website is PCI Level 1 secure. The smallest donation size that that can be accepted through the portal is $10, but there is no maximum. And gift acknowledgments or the tax receipt are sent by email directly to the donor. If, as we are approaching tax season, someone emails or calls your office and asks how to get their East Texas Giving Day tax receipt, you can direct them back to easttexasgivingday.org, and at the very bottom of the homepage, there's a little widget where they can type in their email address, and it will email them their receipt from the 2020 event. And if they say they don't ever get it and you have issues with that, just reach out and we'll send you a PDF of it as well. But that is a way for you to extract those those tax receipts from last year. Charities can view and acknowledge donors instantly throughout the event. That into the donor portal, you can log on and you can see exactly who gave to you, so you can call and do outreach immediately on East Texas Giving Day. And organizations will receive their net donations 6 to 8 weeks post-event by ACH. We implemented that last year to do it by an ACH deposit directly into your account. If you do not want to do that, that's fine. Just put zeros in the bank account information on your donor registration, on your nonprofit registration whenever you get signed in. You just select banking or checking and then just put zeros in that. And when we run our report, we'll know that you want a traditional paper check, and that is fine. We will mail that to you. Cash and checks every year are complicated. This is an online event, but we all recognize that you have donors that want to do things traditionally, and we want to support your efforts. So cash and check donations will be entered by our staff on Giving Day. I will email you a form. It's just a electronic spreadsheet, just a Excel spreadsheet where you can put, the name of the donor, the amount given, just some basic information, and we will enter that on your behalf onto the back end of East Texas Giving Day. There are no fees that come out of that. Cash and checks would then be processed in your organization as if they were any other day of the week that you received them, but we want you guys to get credit for them on East Texas Giving Day towards your match. So these checks that we enter for you will not go towards prizes, but they would apply towards your match money that you have in the system. And like I said, the cash and check should be processed as normal by your nonprofit the way you would on any other day of the week. And we'll have some more trainings on that, so don't worry. We'll make sure that all makes complete sense closer to the giving event. There are fees on all gifts that go through East Texas Giving Day. There's a vendor fee and the credit card fee. Again, East Texas Communities Foundation makes nothing off of the event. 3% goes to our tech partner, and 2.26 is what the old mean credit card people want. So at checkout, each donor will see a 5.26% increase on their gift. So if it's $100, it would be $105.26. We have it defaulted for the donor to pay those fees. Of course, they can uncheck that box if they want. However, in 2020, 92% of the donors paid the fees for East Texas Giving Day. I think the lowest response rate we've had on that is like 88%. So East Texas donors know it costs money to do these kind of events, and they want you guys to get the lion's share of the money raised on the event, and they will pay those fees for you. Volunteer info. So East Texas Giving Day is not just about the money. We want people to generate a meaningful experience with your organization. So we incorporated this volunteer box. So at checkout, the donor can select if they want to know more about volunteer opportunities with your organization. That shows up on your donor report as well. It is up to you as the nonprofit to create the outreach to those individuals that have indicated yes, they want to know more, so that you can get them in your organization and work with them and make them, you know, a lifelong supporter of your work. So when you are filling out your nonprofit profile, when you log in, at the very bottom, there is a question that says donation form question. Ask donors for volunteer interest. You need to check this box in order for the, where I've got it red circled, in order for that to appear at checkout, you have to have that box on your donation form selected. So there are organizations that do not have volunteer opportunities. So like ETCF, we don't have an opportunity for someone to volunteer and do work for us, but a food bank would. So that's why we made that optional, and you can opt in to have volunteers interest, or volunteers opt into your organization. So that's what that box at the bottom means. Last year, we had about 12,000 volunteer hours pledged to participating nonprofits, which I thought was pretty amazing. And the SPCA of East Texas had an outstanding 1,127 hours committed to their organization. So it's all going to the dogs. Everyone loves their pets. And the SPCA scored really highly on people wanting to contribute their time along with their treasure for East Texas Giving Day. So I thought that was pretty exciting. Okay, so again, peer fundraising. I kind of touched on it earlier. It's a great way for you to get your largest fans involved. This could be a great way to get staff, volunteers, and board engaged as well. Donors can create a page in minutes. All peer-to-peer are automatically approved, so the nonprofit doesn't have to worry about another admin struggle. Once the donor goes on and creates their peer-to-peer page, it would automatically be approved. However, if you go in and review one and you don't quite like what they've put, you are welcome to remove it. There will be a button for you to initiate that. I do encourage you to do some outreach at that point. It's just a little donor stewardship tip to visit with that donor that created the peer-to-peer and explain to them why they've been removed, and maybe share with them how the messaging that you would like to see perhaps. But again, you can remove someone if you feel like they don't represent your organization well. And the nonprofit will get an email every time a gift is made through a peer-to-peer campaign. So it's another way for you to engage with the donor. You could always reward your with some social media blast about how great Mr. Jim, the board member, is doing great on his peer-to-peer, and you can share all that. And again, it generates buzz within your organization. So we're going to host a webinar on what peer-to-peer fundraising looks like. It's going to be on Tuesday, March 2nd from 2 to 3. I will make sure you guys get more information on that as we go. But I feel like it's a new avenue we're going down this year, and I think it will definitely help with your fundraising efforts on the ground level. So we have early giving. Early giving again starts April 5th. You can log in and make gifts on Giving Day. You will donations are processed immediately. You won't have to wait any longer. In the past, we've had those stored and then all ran them at one time, and it's not that way any longer. They will go through instantly. Donors can also give without creating a donor account, which the donors really like. And you can start thanking and doing the donor stewardship immediately as soon as you start getting those emails that indicate you've received an early gift. It's a great opportunity for your board to signal support. That way you can say we had full board support for Giving Day. You can promote it as Why Wait, Give Today. I will market it as early giving. I think we've done it as advanced giving in the past, but I think this year it's going to be early giving. And again, we will reward the person or organization that raises the most money in advanced giving with a $1,000 bonus prize. That's always a fun one. It's always interesting to see the monies trickle in kind of slowly, but an avalanche comes in right before the beginning of Giving Day. And it's always fun when I run that prize report to see who received the most money for advanced giving. So it's really a neat prize, and you guys always do so good getting the word out. So again, we do have prizes. I will release those on March 30th. It'll be a very fast webinar. We'll give some tips and tricks and talk about things about how people have been successful with prizes in the past. They will range from 250 on up, and make a plan. Figure out how you want to incorporate prizes into your promotion. It really can be beneficial to you guys. Again, the prize webinar will be Tuesday, March 30th at 2 p.m. And again, I'll make sure you guys all get your registration for that.
Hi, Prentice. This
Matching
is Beth.
funds. In 2020, 80 charities had matching funds combining for over $1 million. That was 153%.
Good, how are you?
Oh wait, nonprofits with a match raised 153% more than those that did not have one. So it is a significant help to your campaign to have your own matching funds that day.
Can you ask the folks to
You can select a donor that typically makes significant gifts to your organization. Spread the word if you do have a match. And start thinking about it now. It's never too early to start thinking about how you want to create your campaign for East Texas Giving Day, or how to partner with someone, whether it be a personal donor or a corporate donor, whomever, about how to get involved with matching. That training for matching is going to be on February 16th from 2 to 3. It will be a webinar. And again, we're going to reward the nonprofits. So if you can accumulate $3,000 in match, you will go into a drawing to win a $1,000 prize. You must have it entered into the system by April 21st.
That's it.
Matching funds on East Texas Giving Day. Okay, so
excellent.
Matching funds show up on your Giving Day portal. This is what the public will see. And they also show up on the leaderboards, so the donors can sort. If they click the word match at the top in that green bar, then they can sort by match funds remaining, match funds met. So it kind of gives the public an idea of if they were looking for someone that has a match, who has some left. All right, so if you're participating in East Texas Giving Day, there are some benefits. You capitalize on a moment in time. It's one day with a lot of voices, 18 hours of energy and momentum, and everyone celebrating the work that we all do in our community. You can reach a broad range of donors using social media. You can attract new donors that are just outside of your normal reach. Like I said, whenever that 23 organizations were supported by one individual, that is a good indicator that people go on and they find their favorite nonprofit that they went on looking for, but then they researched and they perused and they found, oh, well, I like this person and I like their mission and I want to see what they're doing. And or perhaps it's a transplant that maybe grew up in Texarkana but currently lives in Tyler, but wanted to go back and support some of their favorite charities that they remembered in Texarkana that were participating. So there's lots of ways that you could do outreach and reach those people who are just out of your normal grasp. It levels the playing field. So large or small, you all have the opportunity. You all pay the same registration fee. You all have the same access to training. You all can participate and you can all do well. We've had both large and small organizations be very successful using this platform. And it will help you build your data list. So Whenever you extract your East Texas Giving Day donor report, it's got emails, cell phone numbers, addresses. It's got a lot of information that you can then utilize in your own development work at your organization. So it's a great resource for nonprofits whenever they take advantage of it. Okay, so we do this every year. We create a nonprofit toolkit. It's got just some basic knowledge in it. It's got all the trainings and deadlines, tips and tricks, a checklist, email donor templates, so you don't even have to reinvent the wheel. It's all there. Social media tips, a mock communications calendar to help you kind of formulate in your head how you want to do outreach. And like I said, all of that is available on under the resources tab of the East Texas Giving Day portal. So decide if it's a fit for your organization. I hope it is. And if you're not convinced, call me and we'll see if we can twist your arm. Get your board and leadership involved. You've got to have support from all levels in order for your team to be successful. And you can't just register and hope for the best. You have to work it. You have to put in some investment of time in order for this event to be successful for your organization. Don't just pay the registration fee and hope it happens. Register by March 31st at easttexasgivingday.org. Create your strategy. If we get to a point where you can have a public-facing event, let me know. Last year, we had some folks that did some innovative online things, and if you do that, let me know. Whenever that it comes time in April for me to start really sending out my feelers to all of the news outlets, they need to know what is actually happening, because they need visuals, they need support images. And so if you can send me those lists, or if you're doing something, you know, an online virtual something, let me know, and we will try to connect that and get that out to the media outlets to help raise awareness. Promote, promote, promote. We encourage you to do emails, newsletter, tell the public you're involved. The only way they know that you are involved specifically is from your social media channels or from your communications channels. So I will promote the event in the full 32 counties using the mass media that I have access to. But in order for you to raise awareness about your participation, you have to do that yourself. So say it once, say it twice. The more you talk about it, the more you will raise awareness about your participation. If you want to be able to share content on social, like ETCF on Facebook at Simplified Giving, and then that's an easy way for you just to share content and not have to dream up stuff constantly by yourself. All right, so each year we do East Texas Giving Day yard signs. Normally, I would have those on a table at the kickoff, and you could grab a couple as you walk out the door. We do not have the luxury of doing that this year. So we will have East Texas Giving Day signs. I will probably do it as a drive-through event. I will create some emails and send those out to you. I will do it in specific towns. As I start seeing the registrations come in, I'll pull some reports, figure out geography of where the largest clumps of nonprofits are. And then whenever I come to your town, I will make sure you are aware of it ahead of time. And I'll have a centralized location where you can drive through, and I'll hand off 2 signs to you. Again, we're trying to do all of this as virtual as possible. It's an interesting time that we are currently in, but we got to work within the rules of where we are. And so, again, I will distribute 1 to 2 signs per organization that comes through to pick up those signs in March. And like I said, I don't have dates set up just yet, but whenever we do, I will certainly let you know. The East Texas Giving Day signs are a great marketing tool. As you see in this photo, last year, this was hospice, and they took photos of their staff and of volunteers and board members, and they used that in their marketing campaign. And it's just, it adds some vibrancy to the event, and of course has the East Texas Giving Day.org website on there. You, of course, can go order your own East Texas Giving Day signs. You're not restricted to just use ours. So if you have a sign company in your town that you partner with, I can make sure you get a large enough logo that it will reproduce correctly. And you can create your own yard signs. So that's always an option as well. Upcoming webinars, these are the future. You can sign up for those on easttexasgivingday.org under resources, or at etcf.org under Giving Day events. And why should you attend these trainings? Because those that did raised 25% more than those that didn't. So again, you've got to put some effort in to get effort out. And if you come to these trainings, we are going to give you every bit of knowledge that we have to make you successful. And we will do our best to support you in all efforts. But if you attend a training, you're going to raise more money than if you don't. So some important dates that you guys should be aware of: early bird perks, that's the early registration, ends on March 1st. Nonprofit registration ends on March 31st. Profiles are locked down on April 21st, which means you can no longer make edits to match or staff or anything of that nature after April 21st. Pre-scheduled giving April 5th, and the big day April 27th. So I see that we've had some questions come through. I'm going to go over here and see if I can address any of them right quick. Let's see. Well, look, y'all don't have any questions. Very nice. Let's see. This one says, how quickly can we get artwork to create our additional signs? So over on easttexasgivingday.org under resources are some PNG logos for East Texas Giving Day. There's both the Give Where You Live non-dated logo, as well as the one with the April 27th on there as well. They are PNGs, so they are not, they don't scale to size if you need them really big. If you want the vector art for a sign company, I'll be happy to email that directly to you. You guys are welcome to reach out to me directly at hmcfarland@etcf.org, and I will get you that information. So again, it's East Texas Giving Day season, y'all. Good luck. I wish y'all all the best. This video recording will be posted on the Giving Day site, so you're welcome to share that with any staff member that you have. And again, I will post it on easttexasgivingday.org under the resources tab. So anyway, I wish you all the best of luck. Carry on and have a great Giving Day season.
Thanks very, very much, Holly.
Thank you so much, Holly.